Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Brickrigs. I am here at the airport on the city map, and that is because I will be showing you a rather special aircraft design which I perfected, which took me a long time to perfect. And it was the most difficult thing to make, but also the most rewarding thing to have completed. And I'll just go and show it. And here it is. For some of you this will be completely alien, but to others of you, you'll know exactly what this aircraft is. This is a Vertibird. And a Vertibird will be an aircraft which people who have played Fallout will know all about. I got back into Fallout 4 because I've played almost 100 hours, or well, I had played almost 100 hours, and had yet to complete Act 1. I had yet to actually save Nick Valentine from the Triggermen. That's how much I'd been busy modding, exploring, and, modding my weapons, exploring, and doing side quests, and generally not progressing with the main story. Oh, accidentally hit my mouse there. But yeah, so I got back into Fallout 4, and I finally saved Nick Valentine from the Triggermen, did some other quests, and got the Prydwin to enter into our skies of the Commonwealth. And I saw all the Vertibirds flying, and then I was like, oh, this is awesome. Long live the Brotherhood. And then I had a look on Brickrigs, because I thought, well, you know, what's a good place for having a Vertibird? Brickrigs. I had a look, and then I was like, surely somebody has made a Vertibird in Brickrigs. I had a look, searched up a Vertibird, no results. No one has attempted to build a Vertibird, because a Vertibird is basically a Fallout equivalent of an Osprey, or a similar VTOL aircraft. And so this is my attempt at making a Vertibird. Let's just change it to sun so that you see it in all of its glory with the bright sun around us. So, first of all, starting up at the front, nose guns right there is what those are. So yeah, they've just been designed to look like the nose guns, and then the front cockpit has got this sort of weird bulbous design for the Vertibird, and so that's what I've tried to do with these 4x4 half cylinders, half spheres, and so these are supposed to be sort of like half spheres, and well, they are half spheres. These are supposed to be the sort of bulbous looking front cockpit, and then of course you've got this glass bit here which is just held up with some extra bits of additional things, and then you've got the side area here where troops would load and unload. 2 miniguns is what these would be, 2 miniguns at the side. I think the Vertibird only has 1 on each side, I think, in Fallout 4, but either way, either if it does, then okay, if it doesn't, then again, okay. But this version has got 2, so it's got a wide open space here, and then the cockpit right up front here, as you can see, utilising some of the newest pieces in this build of the game, as I try and get it there, utilising some of the newer pieces in the game, for example, those curved pieces there underneath the dashboard here, and then these are just a couple of, like, you know, instruments for the instrument cluster at the front of the Vertibird. And then you've got 2 control columns down there, 2 seats obviously for pilot and co-pilot, and then you've got this large space for 2 people on the machine guns, miniguns, and then you can also fit a couple of people standing there if this were the actual in-game Vertibird. So then we come to the wings, and the wings, for it to be a VTOL aircraft, these wings can actually rotate, and they can also swing back into the rear of the Vertibird. And so yeah, these can turn 90 degrees, so the propellers will be facing forwards, and yeah, any which way in between. And then up the top, it's just got this cone which has just been capped off, just to look like the actual model of the Vertibird. And then it's got some additional bits there. And then it's got these 2 things. They look a bit like bug antlers. Bug antlers? What am I saying? Bug antennas. And yeah, so there's them. And then you've got up here, this would be sort of where the I don't know, turbine or whatever it is, would be sitting inside of the Vertibird. And so this is what this thing is. And then of course on the side you've got the fake engines. These would obviously be the real engine in a real Vertibird, but this isn't a real Vertibird, so these are fake engines, and of course fake propellers as well. Then coming to the back of the Vertibird, you've got the this strut here would be where it would dock with the Prydwin, and so that's what that strut raised, elevated from the actual fuselage of the Vertibird is. And then coming to the back, you've got this sort of triple tailplane arrangement, and these things can actually move. These flaps, they actually move as you move your mouse when you're flying with the elephant in the room, which I'll get onto in a moment. And then at the back, that's just capped off with a little end cap. And yeah, I tried to get the shape of it down as much as I could, and this is what I managed to accomplish. I'm very pleased with it. It took about 5 hours, I would say, in total, because I built some and then I was like, oh, that's enough, I can't build anymore. And then I would have an idea on how to do a particular part of the Vertibird, and then I was like, yeah, okay, let's put that into practice. Went back on it, built some more of it, and then I was like, right, okay, yeah, let's just move away from that now and then. Yeah, kept on going forwards and backwards. Now we come to the elephant in the room, which is this thing up top. As I record this video, I am currently attempting to build one with an aircraft engine, which means that we won't have these rotors here. So I'm trying to build something which doesn't have the turbine. However, as it stands, the only way that I can get this thing to fly off of the ground is to use this big helicopter turbine engine, and I wanted to hide it inside of the Vertibird. However, there is no connection pieces which I can use to create an extended drive shaft up to the rotors, and unfortunately I put it all into glass to try and hide it as best I could. However, yeah, this is the best that I can do, unfortunately, which is to have this big turbine up top. The glass does yeah, I put it into glass, try and hide it as best I can, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So if we sit in here, this is how it looks. The propellers turn by themselves because I've just set them as a continuous cycle at max speed, just so that they're going as quickly as they can, just to give the impression that they're actually doing something. And then the wings can, of course, fold in, as I said, with throttle, because of course using the helicopter engine you have to press Alt. Alt is how the helicopter rotor starts up and how you actually fly with the helicopter engine, which means that I was able to use Alt throttle to just bring in the wings like the Vertibird can, and this is how it looks. Granted, it's perhaps not the best to keep them flying, to keep the things spinning as much as, you know, all the time. However, it's the best that I could do. And then the wings can, of course, rotate with throttle as well, with steering actually. Sorry, not throttle. What am I talking about? And yeah, unfortunately they do sort of clash ever so slightly. But yeah, so and then Q is how you activate these lights. These are just some lights at the end of the Vertibird. And then sitting in the front, this is how it looks in the cockpit. Obviously, you can move this up and down like so, and that will of course change when you're in the air. And this is how the throttle looks, this is how the cockpit view looks in general. So yeah, if we take off with this bad boy, let's just set this thing up. There we go, and it rises. We can turn the whole Vertibird like so, and then obviously if we just take off Alt for a moment, and then we can change that like so. Then as you can see, dear oh dear, that's not gone well. And so yeah, unfortunately I'm not the best at flying helicopters, as we have all just seen there. But yeah, again, you can adjust and elevate the whole Vertibird like so. And yeah, this is pretty much it, the Vertibird. So yeah, it's yeah, like I said, it took about 5 hours to actually build. give or take, you know, some time where I kept on leaving and going back to it and such. And yeah, this is definitely the hardest thing I've tried to make, but I think it's turned out better than expected. I was fully expecting this thing not to be a finished project, and yeah, it's certainly impressive, and given the fact that this is the only Vertibird on the workshop as of the time of recording, I think it's gone rather well. Definitely the most rewarding thing that I've made, as we head over the city here, like such. There we go. Just take some screenshots just to memorise this. So yeah, again, you can just, you know, fly around in a Vertibird as if you were over the Commonwealth with the Brotherhood. Because if you chose any ending other than the Brotherhood, you're a damn Institute synth, and yeah. But yeah, so this is the view of the Vertibird. Again, available for download from my workshop page. It's, yeah, just fantastic, if I do say so myself, with various little bits of decal. And yeah, it was certainly difficult to get this thing to look how it did. And whilst it may not be absolutely perfect, it is definitely a step in the right direction. With a nice bit of slow-mo there. And yeah, hard landing. Hard landing, unfortunately, there. But yeah, so there is the Vertibird. However, that is not the only Vertibird I have created, because as I was going off of pictures of the various pictures that people have taken of the in-game Vertibird, I have decided to create a US Army version of the Vertibird, which has got some things changed on it, and I'm hoping will be as much of a success as the other one was. And I don't know why it's rocking like that. Clearly it doesn't like something, but we can always change that later. So yeah, it likes rocking, doesn't it? Not in slow-mo. But yeah, so either way, this version of the Vertibird is in a nice dark olive green. The machine guns at the front have just been changed slightly. Two of the 2x1 rounded pieces are in dark olive green. Can you stop rocking like that, Vertibird, please? Showing a bad example. But as for the interior is mostly unchanged. The dials have been put into a different place, and there's a star on top of the dashboard, for want of a better word. And the miniguns are now blank. But yeah, other than that, it's got a stripe here on both sides of the Vertibird, actually. As you can see, because that is the picture that I was going off of, it had these stripes like that. And then on the rotors here, the rotors have been changed to a chrome, because the actual rotors on the other one were a nice, you know, chromey looking polished metal look, and they also had this no step on one of the propellers on each side, so I've just added that on there. US Army star just on there. And then on the front, because, you know, people with like army choppers always generally have some slogan written on it, and this one I've got crawling through the Fallout, because you know, that's almost the name of one of the songs in Fallout 4. It's Crawl Out Through the Fallout is the actual name of the song, and it's a good song. It's one of my favourite songs from the game. But yeah, so that's why that's written there, because it's sort of a reference to that song. And then the Vertibird that I saw had a US Army written on the top there, and it also had a variety of numbers here, possibly work numbers, build numbers, fleet numbers, who knows what it is, commission number, whatever. So this one I've just given it a reference to the date, to the year the bombs dropped, which is 2077. So 02077 is the number for this Vertibird. And then on the back, the fins have been changed to show yellow for the back of the fins, and then the rest of it is in this nice olive green. And other than that, nothing much other than some basic decals have been changed. The actual Vertibird itself is completely unchanged, as I will show as I take off here. Try and get a good camera. There we go. Unfortunately, this one likes to rock for some reason. I think it's because I tried changing the landing gear, but it obviously doesn't like the changes to the landing gear. So once again, you can fly it exactly the same as the other one as we head off towards the city again. US Marines, hoorah! And yeah, so there's the view from the cockpit again. Oh dear, that's not going well. Let's just change that. There we go. So once again, as you can see, right at the back of the Vertibird there, the fins there, they move as I move my camera. If you look, there we go. They all move. And yeah, it's basically just a US Army version of the standard Vertibird, because I saw it and I thought, that looks like a cool looking Vertibird, and so I yeah, just added a US Army coat to this Vertibird, and changed a couple of other decals, and yeah, that's how it looks. Can we put this bird down though, is the question. Let's have a look. Please ignore the Discord. Oh dear. Right, let's just adjust the rotors there, slow it down, bring it back a touch. There we go, stop ourselves from going forwards, and then we just lower ourselves to the ground like so. And we have touchdown ish. Let's just, there we go. Power off, and there we go. We have landed the Vertibird. The bird is down. All our guys in power armor can yeah, disembark, show the Red Menace what for. Also, as a note for both of them, the miniguns on the side are operated by standard view, pitch, and yaw, and they can also fire as per normal. And so yeah, there you go. And yeah, that is the Vertibirds that I've created. I hope you enjoyed. They certainly took a while to make. Oh, the front machine guns have fallen off. No. Oh, because we nose landed. It is unfortunately a bit nose heavy. But yeah, so that is the Vertibirds. I'll thank you all for watching, and goodbye.